ready for this? 'Cause I know
Voices of Victory Podcast Show. Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory Podcast Show.
It is now time for the Voices of Victory Podcast Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mario Delia.
Welcome to Voices of Victory, the podcast where we dive into all things related to vision, leadership, and self-esteem. I'm your host, Mario DeLeone, and I'm excited. Actually, I'm elated to kick off this journey with you today. Together, we're going to explore the mindset and strategies that empower you to lead with confidence and reach success. And today's episode is the introduction episode. And in today's episode, we're going to set the stage for what's to come on this show. I'll share a bit about my background, the vision behind Voices of Victory, and what you can expect in future episodes. Let's take a moment to do a deep dive and go right in to the meat and potatoes of this podcast. I've spent years in various leadership roles working with others to help them elevate their personal and professional lives. And I've seen how self-esteem, a clear vision, and effective leadership can actually transform people's lives. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. This podcast is going to cover a variety of different topics. We're going to discuss vision, we're going to discuss self-esteem, and we're going to discuss leadership. And all the things that are interrelated with those things. And each week, we're going to explore different aspects of leadership. What it means to actually lead with authenticity. We've heard that word thrown around a billion times. Or how to build self-esteem in a meaningful way in today's world. What about having strong vision so you can drive towards success? So I'm going to invite you to stay tuned because I'm very glad you're joining me today for this first episode. And I hope you're as excited as I am to dive into the topic we'll be discussing. It's all about building a community and building a community of leaders who embrace their victories. So make sure you keep your ears open and listen to the actionable strategies and insights that are going to help elevate your life. And before we wrap up today, I want to go over some reasons why leaders are separate from a narcissist. I call this the sharks versus the guppies. People are confusing the sharks, which are the narcissists, for the guppies, which are the leaders. That's not to say that leaders are small either. Now, allow me to give a breakdown of some key reasons why leaders are different from narcissists. We have to separate them, and we have to break it down into some key ideas so we can better understand. We first have to compare vision versus self-interest. So as a leader, it's important to have vision because that vision is going to be part and parcel towards direction and leading your team. And self-interest, this is where things get really confusing because I want to separate the differences starting with leaders first. We can understand that leaders are all about focusing on a clear, long-term vision that benefits others. They align with the collective greater good. And a good leader will have love, strength, and boundaries together. I call those the 3 pillars of leadership. There's more than just 3, but this is just the basics of it. The narcissists, they're driven entirely by self-interest. They're seeking their own personal gain and their own status without any regard to anybody else. They just don't care. And this leads us to the next idea of self-absorption versus empathy, because as a leader, you have to have empathy. You have to consider people's feelings. You have to develop understanding and a perspective of other people. Narcissists are not like that. They're self-absorbed. They're struggling to recognize or even care about other people. They don't understand the needs of emotions. We want to empower others rather than exploit, because leaders will uplift and empower, while a narcissist will tear people down and will be very transactional with their relationships. We can understand that narcissists will exploit others because they want to achieve a personal gain, or manipulation, or even control tactics for that matter. And this is where the rubber meets the road, is humility versus arrogance. Leaders have genuine humility. They understand that they're not above other people, and they're always striving to learn and grow. Narcissists, on the other hand, well, they display arrogance, they just don't care, and they believe that they're superior and deserving of special treatment. And again, they can be very transactional. It's all about what they can get and how they use other people. There's no authenticity. It's all about image management for them. And leaders are authentic, being true to themselves and transparent in their actions and decisions with other people. Narcissists, on the other hand, they're focusing on maintaining an idealized image, and they use deception or even exaggeration to manipulate how they are perceived. What's the difference? Well, a good leader has emotional intelligence, where a narcissist has emotional manipulation. The leaders use emotional intelligence to navigate relationships and manage emotions constructively. And they want to create a bond and bridge the gap between them and someone else. Where narcissists manipulate and influence others, and they use weaponized guilt or weaponized flattery. And the difference is collaboration versus control. The leader wants to collaborate. They want to foster that teamwork, that collective problem solving, where the narcissists are just thriving off control. They just want to dominate. And they want to dominate people so they can maintain their power. Now, when it comes down to leadership, accountability is important, where the narcissist will blame shift. A leader will take accountability and make the proper decision and learn from their mistakes. The narcissist fears their mistakes showing up. It's all about how they look, how they're perceived. They're not responsible for their faults or their failures, and often they'll project them onto other people and have a lack of accountability. So these are very strong points, and they're a foundation for really setting the tone of a leader versus a narcissist, and understanding that narcissistic behavior. So for today, I want to say thank you for listening in, because I want to leave you with a little call to action. And that's, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And I want you to feel free to share this with people that actually need it. Now, in closing, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to Voices of Victory. Until next time, remember, you're always one step away from your next victory. Make sure you lead with love and strength and boundaries. And have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next episode.